All right, guys, today on Short Side Wristers, we are going to discuss if the new Master Set player items in Hut are worth it. We're going to go quickly over my least favorite cards in Hut, kind of more in depth in the video I did. And we're also going to discuss the recent eSports events in Minnesota and Winnipeg. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. So quickly, let's talk about the new content that dropped today. It is a holiday, so there wasn't a whole lot of it. We got Ray Ferraro and Bobby Clark alumni cards in packs. These are cards that are two overall less than their monthly alumni ones were. So I guess the people that couldn't get them, I guess you get a shot at them now, which is kind of lame because even if you pack them now, these are going to be pretty rough to use. We also got new trade deadline ones for Jake Muzzin, Cogliano, and Nate Thompson. None of them are really usable. If you pack them, sell them if you can. And then we also got for one day only the 92 Rob Brendamore and the 88 Mike Commodore. The 92 Rob Brendamore is a 93 speed, 93 shot. It wouldn't be bad on the back end, to be honest with you. And the Mike Commodore's got 95 speed and 84 shot. Just another example of putting forwards on defense because, unfortunately, even though he's 88 overall, his shot is just not as good as having a forward on defense. But let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to talk about here. So I've been using the 88 or the 97 Forsberg, as have it's just a ton of people. Obviously, everyone was waiting for a Forsberg because the one that was packed, the 94 overall one, was just impossible to get. Like, he was 2.4 mil. He was damn near as expensive as the Mario and Gretzky, just because of how rare he was. Nevertheless, he was much lower rating. But now that he's a 97, that obviously tanked the price. I feel bad for anyone that just got him, but I haven't really noticed Forsberg all that much. Now, I play Forsberg on a line with Gretzky and Mario. I kind of stack my first line. He feels like, I don't know what it is about the high-rated big players. So Forsberg is 6'1", 205. He's a little bit bigger. I just don't feel like he gets up and goes. It's the agility that cuts, the stops and starts. I just feel really slow with him, although his shot is pretty good. But I've seen a lot of people say that he doesn't play like a 97. I haven't noticed him to stand out. Now, again, that could be because I'm playing with Mario and Gretzky, but I haven't really noticed him standing out. Now, what I would recommend, I would wait. If you haven't gotten him already and you want to try him out, please wait another week, because the price that I paid for him, I did some packs, so I had some trade collectibles left over, so it was a little bit cheaper, but I bought them for like 45K. They're already down to 40. They're under 40,000 now, and it's only going to get less and less because the more people have them, and they keep ripping packs, they're just going to sell them, and then people just undercut each other. And then when it gets closer to the end of the event, you get people kind of freaking out because if they have extras, they're not going to get anything for them. The sunsets are terrible. You basically get like 200 coins for trading in any of the collectibles that aren't being used. So just wait it out. I'm waiting to get my Gaborik. The Ben Bishop, my lord, the Ben Bishop is by far the best goalie currently. Like, I don't have it yet. I have Sawchuk and Grant Fuhr, but I will eventually, just because it's a mixture of size and speed, or size and skill, right? Like, the developer that I talked to in one of my first podcasts stated that the goalies that are higher rated will make saves frame by frame more than someone that's lower rated. And but the problem is that bigger goalies will make incidental contact saves, where if they miss it with their glove, they'll hit it with their shoulder just because of the goalie being big. So you get someone who's gigantic and 95, big yikes. He's going to be the meta goaltender probably all the way to the end of the year. So he's definitely worth picking up. I would get Gaborik or Forsberg first, just because it is more important to have a goaltender than it is. It's more important to have a forward than it is a goaltender. Goaltender still super relies on how you play defense. D to D one timers and things like that are going to go in no matter who's in net. So you need to be aware of that. But yeah, I've noticed that these Master Set guys, a lot of them don't play to what their rating is. And again, I've streamed quite a bit lately this last weekend, and everyone that's gotten him, to be honest, has said that he's kind of been a letdown for them. Now, I don't know if maybe they're expecting him to be just otherworldly, but again, it's just what I hear. Some people have said he's great, but for the most part, it's been kind of a letdown. The card art, though, is sick. That's one thing I will say that they've done this year so well, is their card art is fire. There's some that I don't like. The flashbacks could have been cooler, but anytime they just throw the kind of the mug shot on, I'm a little let down by it. But the master set player items are just filth, and I hope going into next year, it just continues because the card has gotten better every single year. So, but yeah, I just want to touch. I noticed the Gaborik. Not many people have him because he's so much more expensive. You basically need to pay, 18 or 20 collectibles. To get him, as opposed to getting the free 90 overall, trading him in, and then only spending the 16 or the 15 collectibles to get the Forsberg. There's no card that you can trade in other than the 88 that's already so expensive because he's included in a set to get him cheaper. But yeah, I would wait on them. Just wait a little bit longer. Maybe even just wait till next Friday. Wait until the new Hut Champs and the comp season rewards are done, and then packs are ripped again on the weekend. And then I would do the Gaborik set or the Forsberg set if you haven't already, because it is expensive. Like right now to get Gaborik, you're looking at about 800K, and that's at 40K. So he drops down a little bit more, and it's a little bit more feasible. But yeah, it's just something to watch out for, guys. Now, if you guys haven't checked out my least favorite cards from Hut this year, go check out that video. It's done very well, man. I've had a lot of feedback on it. A lot of people agree with me, to be honest with you. There's a few that obviously don't, but again, it's all opinion. Some players can be bad for me that are great for you, but again, it's just I go in depth of the 10 that I find to just be frustratingly bad. My number one, actually, I'm not going to spoil it, to be honest. You go watch it, but there's a few on that list. Some that I don't mention. I just don't find the bigger defensemen to be super, like, stacking them. So, like, having Bufflin and Ally of Frady, those are two units, but I just won't play them together, man. I find the speed, if you don't have 99 speed on defense, I literally just roll my eyes and carry on. It's something that I find super important because regardless of who you're playing, if you get a shot and it's a straight line situation, someone that doesn't have 99 speed, it just has such a hard time getting back, and those straight lines are the ones that kill you because those are the ones where they create 2-on-1s or just walk right in short side wrister. So something to be careful when it comes to the big body defensemen. I also state play forwards on D, guys. Like I say in the video, for example, I hate every Hedman card. He's the perfect example. One of the best defensemen in the world, but to make up for the fact that all of their defensive ratings are really high, they had to lower shot totals to make to make them not 95s overall for the start of the game. Hedman has an under 80 shot accuracy, and he's one of the best. Like, it sucks, but that's just how it is, man. There's very few defensemen in the game that I would legit play on defense. Like, Coffey's one, Dennis Potvin I use, and Brian Leach I use. His shot's really good. His speed is a little lower, but if you have BU, it's okay. But again, I put him on the second line. Dennis Potvin is one of the best, and he's dropping in price quite considerably. I would look to pick him up if you're looking for a defenseman. Now let's discuss the eSports events that happened today. So in Minnesota, the Wild had their event. Basically, it was a little bit different than all the other ones. It was two separate consoles for the prize money. So Sitful and Boosh played for just a best of three for the Xbox side, and then Josh, Fearless, and Gren went at it for like the millionth time for the PlayStation side. Let's talk Boosh and Sitful quick. Boosh did fantastic, man. Like, I think that he's one of the more underrated players, but this season he's been doing great. In the qualifiers, he's gone on long runs in the Washington one, and then obviously he won the Wild one, so he's doing very good. He's one to watch going forward to the rest of the year, maybe the GWC. I think that he could have a pressing run. He's been playing great NHL lately. Sitful, first attempt, like here, he unfortunately had a big letdown. The first game was kind of close. Second game was kind of a mess. I would like to see him win an event because, he does put so much time and effort in the game, but it was impressive to see him win one of the qualifiers and make it there. So he does get props for that. The Gren and Josh game, it was back and forth in game one. They just scored a ton of goals. I think the final was 7-5. And then Gren destroyed Josh in the second one, and, that's got to be super irritating for Josh because, again, they have a pretty big rivalry, and Gren lately is seeming to get the better of him in these events, at least. The Snyder Cup last year, and then obviously this one for the Wild event. It'll be interesting to see going forward how that rivalry kind of plays out, but it was good to see Josh qualify for a final LAN. Because, like I said, he's one of the best players, and he'd been just sniffing around the finals for the Washington one before he qualified, and then the Jets one as well. He had to basically cede his spot because he was going to play in the Minnesota one. which then leads me to Minnesota. So there was a lot of drama involving that. So Regs qualified. Regs, man, I would say he's the most humble kid in the NHL gaming community. He's the nicest guy. I met him. He's a fantastic player. And then what happened was Hockey Kings qualified. Hockey Kings' passport expired, didn't realize that, and the backup was Ethan, who would be the next one to go, but unfortunately he couldn't get the travel arrangements in time. So Mivians finished fourth, and he got to go to the Winnipeg event, took home second place. He did lose to Regs in a great series, by the way. I'm going to talk about production in a second, but a great series. Went the full distance, which is best of 5. And then he took away $2,000 from that, so an easy paycheck considering he did finish fourth. He pushed the series to the limit and gave us great games, and the emotion is fantastic because, like I said, Regs is a little bit more soft spoken, doesn't really react too much, but Mivians on the other hand, he gets fired up, and it made it definitely entertaining. I want to say this about the production of both. You can really tell who goes all in at these events. The Tampa one did just happen. I didn't even talk about Tampa this weekend. Dude, John Wayne taking out and winning Tampa was fantastic. So he beat the 3 other Finns, and he ended up winning the Tampa event, which was awesome. I would say that he was the underdog in it, and he had a great run in winning an event. He's got Detroit lined up this weekend, and he did fantastic. But among the 3, so Tampa, Minnesota, and Winnipeg, Tampa's production was a little bit less. You could tell that they didn't really invest as much in the production aspect of it. I think my boy Chef Wayne, he did great on commentary, as did his partner Kevin. It's just like you could just tell the production value, the camera work, and what was going on. It was kind of basic. Same with the Winnipeg or the Minnesota event. So the Minnesota event had a really cool spectator spot. So basically, it was in the Mall of America, big screen up, and they had the main stage, and then places where people could sit, and that was really cool. It's just that their commentary was kind of bland, and they didn't have face cams during the game, and they didn't have like an overlay where you could easily see. So you had mods in the chat, like CDI and whatnot, having to update constantly about who was who, because people would jump in and out of the Minnesota event and the Winnipeg event and not know who was winning. So that was kind of unfortunate, and something to definitely learn from. Now, the Winnipeg event, they went all out. Arda did great. So did Nico on commentary, but the production value was great. They looked like they were in a booth, it seemed, and they had great camera transitions. They had face cams that were super high quality on both competitors, and then in replays and in spots in the game where there was a whistle, they would switch to face cams, full screen, animations to the commentators, and then they would show replays of goals real time. Like, it was just very, very well done. It looked like a professional game, to be honest with you. And I hope that everyone sort of mimics that. World Gaming did a great job of this event. And they kind of set the bar now for all future esports events coming up. It'll be interesting to see the Washington one, because they definitely invested quite a bit of money in their tournament, whereas you've got Detroit as well, which is more of a local tournament, but so many big time players qualified, and it's going to be a very good event run by Saloon. I'm excited to go to that and be in part of production for that and learn and kind of see, and I know that Arda is doing the commentary for that one as well. So I am hoping to see. I'm excited for the Detroit event. But yeah, it's just like you could tell if you go back and watch the streams, guys, like the Winnipeg event was just very well done. And I hope to see it going forward as far as production from the teams. So guys, that will do it for today. Thank you guys for listening, watching, however you're doing it. I will see you guys tomorrow in the morning, or in the afternoon, I guess is when I upload this. I'll be back streaming regular time, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.